Okay, we are witnessing an absolutely fascinating collision right now. Seriously, the very fabric of the internet is shifting from closed, walled-off systems to open, decentralized networks. It's a massive transition. But here's the thing, the architects pulling the strings and writing the code to make this all happen, well, they actually aren't the legacy tech giants you might expect.
So think about the massive artificial intelligence models that have practically taken over every industry overnight, right? And think about the decentralized networks that are forming the backbone of Web3. Now, I want you to ask yourself, have you ever stopped to wonder who exactly is building this next version of the internet? Who is actually sitting at the keyboards, architecting the rules, the protocols, and the data structures for tomorrow's digital world?
Believe it or not, the answer is Generation Z. There's this massive generational synergy happening right before our eyes. In this explainer, we're going to see how the deeply ingrained native traits of Gen Z perfectly position them to lead this entire Web3 revolution, and specifically how they're tackling the incredibly complex task of training tomorrow's AI.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, welcome to Codatta. To really understand the platform at the center of this movement, which is Codatta, we first have to look at the foundational problem holding back modern AI. The major barrier right now, it actually isn't processing power, and it's not complex algorithms. It is inclusive access to quality data. Without reliable, diverse information, AI basically just stalls out. Finding a way to source that data securely is literally one of tech's biggest hurdles today. Enter Codatta. It's a universal annotation and labeling platform designed to take human intelligence and turn it directly into AI. It essentially shatters that bottleneck we just talked about by empowering everyday people to contribute their own knowledge. And the brilliant part here? The users providing this critical intelligence aren't just doing free labor for big tech. They actually earn long-lasting rewards for their contributions. It's a real game changer. And look, this isn't just theoretical stuff. The user-contributed data flowing through Codatta is tackling real-world challenges right now, and it's moving toward commercialization across some massive multi-billion-dollar verticals. We're talking crypto account annotation, healthcare, robotics, anti-money laundering, and Web3 ads. Human intelligence is actively fueling critical AI advancements in all of these sectors. Which brings us to Section 2, Gen Z meets Web3. So, the crucial point is, why is Codatta led by this specific demographic? Well, because they're digital natives. Gen Z, born roughly between the mid-90s and early 2010s, have literally never known a world without the internet. Their foundational generational traits don't just complement the new internet, they actually mirror the direct, decentralized architecture of Web3 itself. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly these pillars align. You look at Web3, it distributes power away from centralized entities, right? Well, Gen Z naturally craves autonomy and avoids intermediaries. Blockchain prioritizes cryptographic privacy. Gen Z is hyper-aware of data protection. Web3 demands trustless transparency, while this generation actively seeks out authentic interactions. When you combine all that with their innovative adaptability and globalized worldview, you honestly get the ideal Web3 architects. To put a human face to this theory, Jay, who's a team lead over at Coda, really hits the nail on the head here. He notes that Gen Z significantly drives Web3's development through their early adoption. Their core values are already perfectly aligned with Web3 privacy, transparency, and digital ownership. You know, their engagement in things like NFTs and decentralized finance, it isn't just a passing trend. It is the actual culture pushing the boundaries of the decentralized web. All right, let's get into the mechanics. Section 3, Human Intelligence into AI. Moving from theory into day-to-day practice, at the very heart of this ecosystem is the Codatta Vault. This is a fundamental component designed to securely store and manage all that user-contributed data we talked about. This is absolutely crucial for you because it guarantees your personal intelligence is stored in a way that ensures both privacy and monetization. You retain ownership, your data is completely protected, and best of all, it remains profitable for you. The actual user data journey is surprisingly straightforward. First, you just submit information or annotations. Next, you help validate that data, which directly improves the integrity of the whole network. And finally, you earn long-lasting rewards for that effort. So through these 3 simple steps, you are personally contributing to the reliable, accessible data that powers next-gen AI. And that leads us to our final part, Section 4, Building a Decentralized Future. Let's move to and see how this builds out in the real world. Transforming how data is managed takes way more than just a smart platform. You need a dedicated community. The Codatta team accelerates these blockchain solutions through really hands-on engagement. They're out there designing compelling reward systems, composing easy-to-follow tutorials, and organizing interactive workshops to share knowledge all over the globe.
And this brilliantly illustrates what we're talking about. Their new Telegram Ads mini app. It's a perfect example of seamlessly integrating Web3 into daily social life. Because it's back-directed by the Codatta Vault, users can easily earn rewards while literally just chatting with their friends on Telegram. It proves that contributing to Web3 doesn't have to be some isolated chore. It can live effortlessly right inside the tools you already use every day.
So, thanks to these Gen Z pioneers, we are actively stepping into a transparent future where data is decentralized and power is finally handed back to the individual. I want to leave you with this one thought to chew on. If human intelligence is truly the fuel for tomorrow's AI, what critical data will you contribute to the decentralized web? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer of Codatta's vision for Web3. See you next time.